Hello, Henry from Belgium here. Today's video is a closer look at a set that feels a little different from what I usually cover. It's part of the town theme, but within a sub-theme I had never really explored before. At first glance, it looks a bit girly, with all those pastel colors and pink elements everywhere. And yet, I really wanted to take a closer look. This is set 6416, Poolside Paradise, released in 1992. I found it at a garage sale, at someone's house. And actually, it came as part of a lot that included a few other sets from the same sub-theme, Paradisa. My curiosity was triggered by the base plates, the unusual colors, and some of the interesting parts I saw in the photos, so I bought all three for a nice price. Despite the more feminine vibe, this is still classic Lego through and through, with familiar parts and standard minifigures. It's definitely not part of the Belleville line, which I also happen to own a box from. That one feels different too, more aimed at girls, but the difference is bigger. The figures are larger, more doll-like, and many parts are made in just one big molded piece. That's not really a line I collect, but the box I have includes a cypress tree, and that alone made it worth picking up. But that's a story for another time. Today, I'll be taking a closer look at one of those three sets and show you what's inside. All three come with interesting base plates, but I had a slight preference for starting with this one, because it features a raised base plate. Even though it's often described as a more girly set, especially on forums, I still find it genuinely interesting to explore. To be honest, the pastel colors give me a calming feeling, almost like a vacation vibe. You could even describe it as a luxury house in Malibu. And at first glance, I think it actually looks really nice on display. It has a certain charm, a kind of visual appeal. The artwork on the box is great, and I definitely noticed some interesting alternate builds as well. For me, it feels refreshing, but still familiar, with classic elements like the well-known palm tree and parrot. The cardboard inlay is included, and, true to the theme, it's pink. But what really interests me here is the raised base plate. It's a 32 by 32 base plate with 3 levels, a stone ramp, and a blue pool pattern. There are some small stains and bits of dirt here and there, but nothing I can't clean up easily. There's no real damage. The corners are still sharp and intact. But most of all, I just love the details. Not just the colors and prints, but the actual shape of it, the levels, the steps, the whole layout. It was designed specifically for this set, and it's completely unique. I've honestly never seen anything quite like it before, and I'm really happy to add this to my collection today. The manual is a practical size, with 16 pages and 21 clear building steps. Stylistically, it fits perfectly within the Paradisa sub-theme, yet it still retains that distinctive early 90s Lego instruction look. You get those same soft pastel colors as on the box, and together it creates a complete experience, one that pulls you straight into the world of Paradisa. The set contains 229 parts and 4 minifigures. It's what I'd call a medium-sized set. Right away, I notice a 1x3x5 brick, a few 1x2x5s, and probably some 1x1x5s as well. Those tend to reduce the overall building fun a bit, since they replace a lot of smaller bricks. This one's a classic, but I mostly know this part in yellow. It's the first time I'm seeing it in white, which is nice. And this one too, I've seen it before in a castle set, but in black. Either way, it's not a very common element. It only appears in 11 sets across all colors. This part also replaces quite a few basic bricks, so again, it does slightly take away from the building experience. But I do spot some other elements that are more interesting. These are the kind of parts you can't replace with standard bricks. And even though they're quite large, I actually like them. They add value in specific builds. The larger one appears in 6 sets, and the smaller one in 12, again, counting all colors. In Transclear specifically, it's even rarer. Up until now, I hadn't come across them myself. I'm sure I'll discover more interesting parts as I build, and I'll talk about those as I go. For now, let's take a closer look at the minifigures. There are 4 in total, which is actually quite generous for a medium-sized set. 2 male and 2 female characters, a nice balanced mix. The 2 on the left are familiar. I've seen them in other sets before, but the 2 on the right are completely new to me. I recognize the face print on the one with the brown hair. I like that one. But the face on the far right is a bit odd, with those red freckles between the eyes. I'm not really sure what to make of it. That said, I really like both of their torsos. They're colorful, creative, and match the Paradisa vibe perfectly. Also, the fact that they each have a different hairpiece is a nice touch. The first thing I'm building is the sports car. Well, building might be a big word. It actually came almost fully assembled in the box. It's a fairly standard design for a car from that era, but the front slope brick definitely deserves a mention. It's officially listed as a vehicle mudguard 3x4 slope. It appears in just 28 sets overall, and in black only in this one, so that makes it a nice little extra to add to my collection. I also like the windscreen, the lever, and the modified tile with bar handle. All in all, it's a slick little sports car, although it could have had a bit more personality, maybe through more unique parts, stickers, or prints. Alright, time to actually start building the set. The first thing I need to do is cover up this hole in the baseplate. It's a fun little feature, probably intended for alternate builds, but in the main model, it gets covered with light grey plates, which will form the base for the rest of the structure. The building experience is actually quite pleasant. At first, it's mostly placing some larger bricks, a door, and a few windows. But soon enough, I really feel like I'm building, with various plates, arch bricks, and the usual basic bricks. The small trans-clear windows act as a kind of outdoor veranda, where the parrot keeps a close watch over everything. It's connected using arch bricks and will be fully integrated into the first floor. And I have to say, the first floor is quite well designed. There's a nice little interior with a few decorative touches. And those pink plates that run across the structure add a subtle accent that fits the Paradisa theme perfectly. Together with the spiral staircase, which is a real eye-catcher, it creates a peaceful, relaxing atmosphere. You could technically rebuild this set using black stairs and plates in different colors, but honestly, that would feel like a completely different model. It's really the pink that defines the look and feel of the whole set. The second floor involves less actual building. It's more about placing decorative elements and assembling some larger pieces. The roof section does include some fun parts though. I actually used this type of arch bricks in a previous video to build a whale skeleton. And then, of course, there are these 2 large window sections, which really help define the overall look of the set. They instantly give it a more luxurious feel. Another thing I found interesting, at the front, they used 4 round plates to place the mailbox on. In most classic sets, that would just be a 2x2 plate. So I think this was done deliberately, to offer more parts for alternate builds. Even the part the waiter is holding as a serving tray looks a bit odd. But again, it's a useful element if you want to build something different. And let's not forget the parasol. It comes in soft pink tones, which makes it a perfect addition to the overall color scheme of the theme. I really like how the light gray modified slope bricks are combined with a 1x1 tile and a yellow trans-clear brick. It's a creative touch that gives the structure a more modern look and feel. And to top it all off, there's the classic palm tree, one of my favorite vegetation parts of all time. You always need to check how many connectors it has, because that varies from set to set. Here, it comes with 6 segments and a base piece. In many sets, there's also a 1x1 round brick added at the top so the parrot can sit on it. But in this case, that detail is left out. So why does this set deserve a place in my collection? Well, because it dares to be different. It's calm and playful at the same time. Light on action maybe, but rich in atmosphere. You're not just building a structure here, you're building a feeling. The colors, the parts, the layout. It all points to a very specific kind of Lego storytelling. One of leisure, calm, and summer afternoons by the pool. I didn't grow up with Paradisa, so this was new ground for me, and that made it exciting. It reminded me that classic Lego isn't just about police stations and fire trucks. Sometimes it's about sunshine, palm trees, and pink tiles that make you smile. This wasn't just a curiosity. It turned out to be a genuinely enjoyable build, and one I'll proudly display. I'm glad I gave it a chance, and even more glad I could share it with you. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, feel free to give it a like. And if you'd like to see more every Sunday, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. It's completely free. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next video.